Hi there. Welcome to the Soul Sister channel on this Sunday, January the 5th. My name's Kat. I've got your astrological spiritual forecast and guidance going from today through Saturday, January 11th. This week's video is entitled Toxic Shock. And I just want to mention, my New Year's resolution is to get my dates right. Of course, I don't actually tape these on the actual date. So, and as we watch this, I'll be just coming back from my 70th birthday cruise that my children got me. So, that's my excuse this week. But I think I have the dates right. So, okay, I apologize for screwing that up on a regular basis. We're going to do better this year. But the reason for the title, I'm kind of avoiding it because I really don't want to talk about it. But it is the elephant in the room this week. I've been talking about it the last couple of weeks, especially with the holidays, our relationships with our families, our children, our parents, our siblings, whatever. And sometimes our families aren't blood related, but they're those groups that nurture and support us as well. And we've had lots of contact with them in the past couple of weeks. And because of that, a lot of our unresolved traumas, a lot of our emotional issues got triggered, did they not? Now, I was telling us to remain conscious so we can objectively look at why we are emotionally affected by what the other does and what the origin of that emotion is. And guess what? If we haven't figured it out, this week, man, wow. First of all, we have Mars, which is retrograde, remember. It's moving back into Cancer. And that is the reason for this whole energy. Cancer, family, nurturing. Also, Cancer in the negative use is manipulation and control, right? Mars is retrograde, so retrograde meaning to regroup, review, readjust, realign, rest, ponder, be introspective. So this combination, all of those triggers that we had over the last couple weeks, now we get to process them. We get to work with them. We get to heal them and transform them. You know what I'm talking about. Each one of us was triggered by someone or something in the last couple of weeks. And the universe is saying, hey guys, to begin the new year, we have got to come into balance with our relationships with the other. And this week we have my favorite in conjunction. I always talk about that 150-degree relationship between planets being the opportunity to make adjustments in our relationships, to heal our relationships. And the other great aspect that we get to experience this week is the square, which is full on confrontation. So, this is our opportunity this week to move beyond the woundedness, move beyond the pain, the suffering, the hurt, to see what really is at the bottom of our emotional abyss down there. We're going to take a dive. Now, we're not going to stay down in our emotional abyss and get all like overcome with it. We're going to go down and find out why. Why do I feel this way? Now, two things. The first thing is we tend to look at a relationship with our parents. That's a good place to start. Our childhood. That's where a lot of our issues came from, not necessarily because of our parents and who they are or were, but because of our understanding and how we processed certain events. that may not be as real as we thought they were. So take a look at that. Now, the other thing I find really interesting, because I've noticed it recently with a couple of different friends of mine, there are those of us who are wanting acceptance from our children. We want to be worthy enough for our children. And I get all verklempt. I like to get annoyed and irritated when I hear that, because my understanding is this. And I'm a mom, and everything that we taught our kids, they pretty much learned when they were 12. And regardless of how I did, or if I met their expectations or I didn't meet their expectations, I did the best I could with what I had. Personal story, my relationship with my mom, it was not pretty. She was very confrontative. She loved to put me down and tell me how I wasn't good enough all the time until I was 40. It took me until I was 40 to confront her after one of her nasty little tirades that she gave me. And I told her to just F off. F off, Mom. And you know what? That moment, I was free from all of her shit. At that moment, I took back my power. And at that moment that I took back my power, our whole relationship changed. And she may not agree with me. She may still be jealous of me, but she respected me. So this is what we're talking about. These are the circumstances in our lives that we are giving an opportunity to heal. Because, guys, we got so much work to do. We cannot be spending our time in the emotion of abyss of all our hurts and unworthiness. Now, the Soul Sister channel is here to tell you that each one of us was created for a specific purpose. Each one of us is a unique, gifted individual in our own right. And we need to find what that skill is, what that purpose is, so we can fulfill it during this most important time in the evolvement of the earth and of humanity. As we move into a whole new dimension, what was it? The fifth dimension, the age of Aquarius. We are going to be introduced to yet another new dimension of living, which we actually are being introduced to now. Many of us are very afraid, we're very insecure, and we don't want to move forward. We are very afraid. But all of us are here to bring in this new energy. And if we're all into our own bullshit, we cannot help. We cannot fulfill our purpose. We can't do what we came to do, and we can't help ourselves, humanity, and the earth evolve. This is big stuff. Now, I'm saying all that because this week is going to be tough. We really have to dig down and look at some of those unresolved issues. This is a great time to seek outside help, to go get some counseling, like I said last week. It could be a wise older friend. It could be our minister. It could be a therapist. But it's always good when we're stuck in these spots and we can't get out, to get some objectivity, to give us some clarity and give us some guidance. So don't forget, we aren't in this all alone. There is support out there to help us if we need it. So that's the Mars in Cancer. It's really important that we do the work this week. We also have on Wednesday Mercury moving into Capricorn. So now our speech and our communication becomes very grounded, very purposeful, and very self-promoting. So we have the ability to really take our thoughts, and manifest some of our ideas, some of our creativity. We can start writing down steps, start manifesting, because Capricorn is a great earth energy. We can take some of these ideas that we've had and start bringing them into the physicality, into the physical world, whatever that is that we've been thinking of. It gives us, again, the ability to communicate in a very grounded, stable, effective, logical manner. So we have that too. That's really good stuff, especially if we are working through some of our emotional issues, our emotional traumas, and especially if we're seeking, I keep hitting my microphone, I'm sorry about that, especially if we're seeking outside help. This is a great energy to really help us get to the bottom of whatever it is that we have unresolved, so we can heal it and transform it into our power, which we can contribute to the support and the nurturing, not only of ourselves, but our brothers and sisters and the rest of the world. Big stuff, big stuff, big stuff. On Tuesday, the moon is in Taurus. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, good time to really take a look at our finances, see where we are, how are we going to be stable, how can we be financially viable this year, do we need to make any adjustments in our financial planning. Look at that on those 3 days, and especially with Mercury and Capricorn, we'll get some clarity and some ideas of maybe we want to invest our savings in something, maybe we want to take that job, whatever it is, we're going to get clarity in the middle of the week to how to better work with our finances and to remain financially viable and stable in our lives. And then at the end of the week, we have the moon in Gemini, very social, very curious. We want to, we're very interested in finding out more about this idea that we have. We're processing ideas. We're also very social. So Friday and Saturday, great time to meet friends, to go out with our partner, to do some partying. Although we've partied pretty much in the past couple of weeks, we might want to stay low-key, but it is a great social weekend coming up. Also, everyone's rather chatty. Everyone wants to tell their stories, and it's just a quick reminder not to buy into anyone's stories if they're a little bit too good to be true. So watch out for that. But, we can be entertained, even though they're like, okay, that's probably not true. But that's cute. I like your story. So that's the week I've had a lot of introspection, a lot of really getting into our woundedness, especially when it comes to our relationship with our families. It's time to cut that toxic cord. These relationships, they bring down our vibration because they just suck our worthiness. They suck our abundance. They suck our joy right out of us. So it's time to cut that cord. Sometimes we may have to leave that person completely and just really set up some real strong boundaries. That might be one of the necessities that we find. And it's really important. It's really hard to do, guys. It really is hard to do, to set up strong boundaries, especially with our family who we love, and we want to support and nurture them. But boy, sometimes they can become pretty needy. And so we get confused, and instead of making sure that we're nurturing and supporting ourselves first, we compromise ourselves to keep the peace. Watch out for that this week. Just be very conscious of whatever relationship we have in our lives. And again, the focus is on whoever we consider our family this week. Because there are some toxic relationships that either need to be severed or healed, or we need to set up some heavy duty boundaries. So that is our work this week. Let's get started by becoming balanced, aligned, and connected with our higher selves. We'll take our 3 deep cleansing breaths, and we'll say our Sun in Capricorn affirmation. Let's take our 3 deep cleansing breaths. Let's take the first one. On this first deep cleansing breath, we release all disease, negativity, and toxicity from our physical etheric bodies. Second breath. On this second breath, we release all disease, negativity, and toxicity from our emotional astral bodies. Let's take one more. On this third deep cleansing breath, we release all disease, negativity, and toxicity from our mental bodies, both higher and lower. We see all the darkness, all the negativity, all the toxicity, all the nastiness. It's all flowing out of our bodies, just flowing away to wherever it came from. Probably some of those toxic relationships. In its place, we're being filled with this beautiful light made up of white light, love, and goodwill. Not only does this light fill our entire body, but it's also protecting us, deflecting all evil, low vibration, all negativity back to its source. While we're in this space of white light connected with our higher selves, we are going to say our Sun in Capricorn affirmation. I work to make the outer world a reflection of my true, authentic self and my work. We'll say the affirmation. We'll stay in this space of white light connected with our higher selves for just 5 seconds. Let's say it together. I work to make the outer world a reflection of my true, authentic self and my work. Good. Might want to keep that thought because, with these toxic relationships with our family, we are compromising ourselves all the time. So we're going to cut that toxic cord. We're going to remain true to our true authentic self and our work, if that is part of this. And we're not going to compromise ourselves. We will honor and be sensitive to the other, but no compromising, no giving away our power anymore, just to keep the peace. So come see me on Facebook at Soul Sister Cat for my daily inspirational oracle messages and my very interesting and quirky memes. Remember the keynote for the Soul Sister channel, that life is lived from the inside out. Make it a great week. Do the work, hard work. It's going to pay off. I'm going to tell you, if we do the work this week, we are going to feel more fulfilled, more happy, more at peace, and more at balance. Guaranteed. I guarantee it. Have a great week. Do the work. Namaste.